A man who grew up in hardship, who came from nothing. He was not just a leader, but a beacon of hope for his people. In the darkest of times, he fought for justice, sacrificed everything to keep a nation together. With his unwavering belief and determination, he changed the course of history. His life was never easy. He was born in a small log cabin, in a world where the land was harsh and life was unforgiving. Education was a luxury, but he never gave up. Books were his greatest treasure. By reading, by learning, he shaped himself. Though he came from an ordinary farming family, he had extraordinary dreams. He worked tirelessly, overcame every obstacle, and carved his own path. When he stepped into politics at a young age, he was determined to be a voice for justice and equality. He came from the common people. He knew their struggles. He had lived through poverty, injustice, and hardship himself. His speeches were powerful because they came from the heart. He was one of the people, and now he spoke for them. But the nation was not at peace. The tensions between the North and the South were rising every day. On one side were those who opposed slavery, on the other were those who defended it. America was on the brink of tearing itself apart. When he became the leader of the country, he took on the greatest responsibility of all. Then civil war broke out. Brother turned against brother. The battlefields were soaked in blood. He fought not just to win a war, but to keep his country united. He could not allow the Union to fall apart. To him, slavery was a crime against humanity, and he was willing to risk everything to end it. Even in the bloodiest days of war, he never lost hope. He spoke to his people, became a champion of freedom and justice. He was exhausted, he was worn down, but he never took a step back. And then, with a single stroke of his pen, he changed the fate of millions. No man would ever be the property of another again. When the war ended, victory was his. He had held the country together. He had abolished slavery. But he did not know that this victory would cost him everything. He had enemies. There were those who wanted to silence him, those who wanted to stop his ideas from spreading. And one night, in a theater, at his most unguarded moment, history was changed forever. A gunshot rang out. The man who carried the future of his country in his hands was no more. But his ideas, his fight, and his legacy would live on forever. So who was he? The man who grew up in hardship, who fought for his people, who stood for freedom and justice. Who am I? I am Abraham Lincoln.